It's Diane, the Creative Inkster. Today is Wednesday, October the 12th, and I'm here to show you this fun, beautiful project, which is a paper bag, gift bag, which holds an awful lot of stuff. It measures 6 inches wide by 6 inches tall by 3 inches deep. And it is super cute. You can even add gusseted sides if you want to get fancy with it. I think it's awesome for putting treats in. In fact, this was one of the ones I made for my kids for Easter and had that beautiful paper for that. It's almost fall-like too in colors. Here's another one made with the peach paper. So wherever your patterned paper is a matching image or matching colors and look on both sides. So here we have the polka dots, and then we have in the same color scheme the peaches and some matching ribbon. So that's what you're going for, is a piece that works well together like that. So if you're here watching live, please let me know. I love to connect with you. And if you're watching the replay, by all means leave me a comment and I'll check back in and check on what you thought of this video. It's pretty simple. It goes by really quick. I may have to show it to you twice. So let's get started with the things that we need. So I'm going to use 2 pieces of patterned paper. I'm going with matching. You don't have to go with matching, but what's basically going to happen is we're going to make, hi Lynn, half is from one side and the other half is from the other side. So if you had a really plain pattern for one edge, for the, say, the back, that would work. But I always like to work with 2 matching pieces. And I want to be mindful of if it's directional, which this is. These go up, so I would want to make sure that my top is here where the top of the pattern is. And this piece is going to fold over, and that works fine for having that pattern fold over. I would have preferred to have these little flecks go the other way, but that's fine. It's totally fine. It's going to work just fine. Here's another option paper-wise. Ooh, it's busy. So you can either have your paper stripes going vertically or horizontally, but when I look at the back side with the kites on it, this could be the front, and then that would be the way the fold down would be at the top, or it could be the stripes. Oops, we need to go this way. Vertical stripes and these. But then what happens is you want to make sure that you've got your kites going in the right direction. So I'll play with that in a little while. And you got to do the same thing on both pieces. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy measurements. You want to get out your paper trimmer with scoring blade, or you could use instead, you could use the Simply Scored or a scoreboard like that. So as I mentioned, this is the top. This is the way the pattern kind of goes up like this. So I want this to be the top. So that is the edge I'm going to score at 2 inches. So I'll slip it in here, line it up at 2 inches. If I get this done first, then I don't get confused, because it's easy to do. So score this at 2 inches at the top. Do the same on both pieces of paper, so we are set up for success right from the get-go. Once again, double check that you're using your scoring blade. You don't want to use that cutting blade. So we scored the top at 2 inches, and then we're going to score, here's our top up here, we're going to score the right, the bottom, and the left at 3 inches. That's all you need to do. Pretty simple scoring. And you could make it less, it's just, I usually make it a 3-inch bag. So you're going to do this on both pieces. Can you do this with a 6x6? Why, yes, you can. It's just that you need to, I'm just going to flip it over to do 3 inches here. It's just that you need to change your measurements. So you're not going to do 2 inches at the top, 3 by 3 by 3. So you could do something different. Oh, yeah, that's right. Perfect. Okay. So I've done my, see, I get talking, right? So I've done my 2 inch at the top. I'm going to go 3 inches, 3 inches, and 3 inches. And then we're going to do a little snipping And then we're going to fold and burnish and put this great thing together. Uh-oh, my scoring blade just flew off. Where'd it go? There it is. It's time to get a new one. I think it's losing its grip in the track. I don't think I've ever changed the scoring blade on this. So yeah, probably is time. 3 inches. And I can do it this way, 3 inches. Alrighty. And then you'll need some ribbon or some way to decorate these. You can set our paper trimmer aside. So what I'm going to use for my ribbon is what matches with this. Is this gray granite ribbon. I'd like it a little bit thicker, but this is fairly stiff, so from a hanging down perspective, it'll have some weight to it. So I'll need a bit of that in a bit. Let's go ahead and do our burnishing. So we're going to fold inwards. This is my inside. So we're going to fold the 3-inch edge over, and we're going to fold the other 3-inch edge on either side over. I've got my 2-inch up here at the top, and the 3-inch at the bottom. We're going to fold that up, and we're going to burnish it. All right, so it's starting to get some shape, and then we want to, after we've folded those pieces in, at the top we want to fold it back. All right, so that's how it's all going to come together. We're doing half and half. Do the same on the other one. So we'll fold our 3-inch sides in, left and right. I made a bunch of these at Easter for my kids' Easter baskets or Easter bags, and they loved them. So much so they gave them back to me so I could reuse them. All right, so there's our 3-inch score lines done, and we'll fold the 2-inch down. This is where, you know, you definitely want to have it matching. And there we go. We're ready to get this put together. You need another important piece, and that is a piece of cardstock. It can be any color. It can be a cereal box. It needs to be about 5.5 to 6 inches by 3. And I don't usually make it completely 3 inches and completely 6 inches because I find that then it kind of competes a little with the closure. But the reason for this is going to go in the base, and that's going to give some stability to the bottom of the bag. So we've got that piece here too. So we are going to cut up from the bottom. So the two, there's our top with our folded over piece. The bottom, we're going to cut up on those 2 score lines. And I'm just going to double check that. That's going to come up. Yeah, I always get kind of confused when I look at going up or going in. I don't think it really matters. So we're going to cut up the 2 score lines. As long as you do the same on both, it's not going to matter. There we go. See, it's starting to take some shape now. There's half the bag. We'll do the same on the other one. So there's our top. And on the bottom, we're going to cut up those 2 score lines at 3 and 6 inches. Or 3 and 9 inches, rather. 3 inches from either side. Great way to use up some of those patterns that maybe you wouldn't use otherwise. And now we're going to glue the bottom in. So you're going to push the 2 flaps into the center and glue them to the bottom there. So to do that, you can use a couple of different things. You can use tear and tape, which I think I will use just for ease of use and not needing to worry, at least on the bottom, about drying times with liquid glue. So you can use tear and tape, you can use Stampin' Seal Plus, or your Tombow liquid glue, whatever you like. I usually do use my Tombow, to be honest. All right, 1, 2. Let's flip our little back pieces off. And we're going to fold this in and make sure that we line up the edge of the bottom with the fold on the right, like that. And do the same on the other side. And just make sure I line that up. There we go. And they fit in the center. And you might want to give it a little pinch to help it along. Here, we're going to fix these flaps that want to open up. And then on the inside, I'm going to put this piece of cardstock to give it a little bit of stability. And there's the liquid glue, because I'm like literally a liquid glue girl. I don't need to worry about this wiggling on me, because I'm going to be working on the other piece while this is drying. So it doesn't have to be exactly 3 by 6, but close enough, whatever scrap you've got. It doesn't even have to be a matching color, because no one's going to see it. It's going to be on the inside. So we're going to do the same on this one. We're putting adhesive on our 2 little flaps, folding them into the center, and folding the bottom up. We'll go back to our tear and tape. There we go. I hope it was a lovely day where you were today. It's nice and warm here. A bit of rain, I think, this afternoon. That's okay. We needed a little bit of that. It's been pretty sunny and gorgeous, and the grasses and such have been a bit dry. All right. So we will fold this in, line up the bottom with the score line. There we go. Do the same on the right as the left. There we go. Pinch this in a little bit. Perfect. All right. Now, this is the one with the cardstock in the middle. This one's going to fit right inside. I realize there's probably a bit of waste and a little bit of leftover that you could take away. It might make it simpler, but I find that having this extra flap here gives it some stability, so I never usually cut them off, to be honest. All right, so to put this in, I am going to use my liquid glue. First, I'm going to put it on the side. This is the one that's going inside the other. I'm going to put it on the side. I'm going to put it on the bottom. Then I'm going to carefully put it on the other side. Liquid glue is great for this because it's forgiving and you can wiggle it. So when you're playing away here and adding your glue, just keep in mind that you're not getting it on your table or work surface. Some down the middle there. Okay. So now it's just a matter of sliding it in. And like I said, because you have liquid glue, the sliding goes so much better. And you've got time to wiggle it into place. So I usually line up one of the corners and one of the edges, and then I move over to the other side, do the same. Okay, and then I'll put it on its side, slide my hand in or the bone folder and press it down, flip it over and do the same on the other side. And then for the base, I'm just going to take my bone folder and press in there. The reason I wouldn't use tear and tape is that it could catch and then I'm committed, right? And it's not exactly where I want it to be. Now these little flaps like to peek up, so I'll add a little bit of adhesive to the corner of them just to press them down and keep them in place. There'll be a little bit of a seam you can see on the edges. That's normal. There we go, a little bit more there. Super, starting to look like a finished project, people. What a great way to use up paper and have a matching project. So what I have here is a card made with the same pattern paper. This is from Happy Forest Friends. And I want to, instead of actually decorating the front, what I'm going to do is, here's my card, ready for Hello Baby. And I'm going to use one of our cello envelopes and stick this on the front by cutting the flap off. So with my scissors, you'll see this is the flap where you would normally seal it. So I'm going to grab my scissors. In fact, I probably should grab my paper trimmer. I don't know if that'll work. I didn't think that one through. But I want to just snip it off. There we go. The blade is nice and tight. So you may be able to see, but part of mine is a little longer in one spot than the other. That's fine. And I want to add this to the front like so, and then I'm going to slide my card in because they're a nice match. So I'm going to put a little bit of, or a strip of tear and tape down one side, but I'm trying to put it so that when my card goes in, you don't really see that. Carefully peel this off and positioning it closer to the bottom and centered left to right. I'm just going to put that down, and you really can't see that once it's in place. And then my card can go in here, and I can do two things. If my card is, as my card is a top opening one like that, I can actually stick it in and have the card show. That's, oops, sorry, the card show this way. Or I can slip the entire thing in. Your choice. That's a little more complicated with the raised images on the card. So that is how I'm decorating / incorporating my card into this. Now we need to put our ribbon on. And I'm going to use, so I tend to do the ribbons this way, where I put holes and then just tie through. I'm sure some people can do a tidier way where it goes all the way through. I just don't worry too much about that. So I make myself a little template so that I know where I want the holes to be on both sides. So to do that is I just taken a scrap piece. It's 6 inches wide, and I'm going to make some marks on it. Just here on my grid paper at 6 inches. At the 1 inch up, this is 2 inches tall, 2 inch over 1 inch up is where I'm going to put a little mark, and then 4 inch and 1 inch. I'm going to put another mark. See? So there's my little template from putting the holes in. And then I'll just slip it on here. Make sure I didn't put my my plastic too high. And I have an old product. What's not even Stampin' Up. Whatever you use to make holes, but I have this crocodile. It has 2 sides of holes. It looks like a very imposing kind of thing. Actually, I'm not going to go in entirely 1 inch because this only goes so far. That's fine. I can see where the black line is, and doesn't seem to be going in far enough. Will it let me go further? No. Why is that? Something doesn't look right on this. I haven't used this in forever. Oh, silly me. I put in the thing in the wrong direction. There we go. See, that's how long it's been since I've used this tool. Oh, it goes in a little bit further, not a lot. So I want to, no, I want it to be down here as much as possible. Okay, there we go. Screw it in tight. Alrighty. It's not a Stampin' Up product. I don't have to be perfectly knowledgeable on it. There we go. And then I'm going to line it up with my hole and do the same thing over here on the other, where the other dot is, to line it up. You know, you can use whatever you have for making holes. There we go. And then I'll flip it over, and this just helps me with my little template to have a better chance of lining it up evenly on both sides. There. And there. All right. My little garbage pieces out. And now I'm ready to add my ribbon. Just fold this over. This is a kind of a small hole punch. I want to say about 1/4 inch, because it's going to depend on how much or how wide your ribbon is. So how much ribbon is that I've cut off? I just really eyeball it, 16 inches. Let's see, is that about what I normally cut? It's a little more than I normally cut. That's okay. You can always trim it off. So slide one piece in here, and the hole on the left, and then another piece in the hole on the right. And then depending how much you want dangling down, you can then tie an overhand knot, maybe 2 or however you need to seal that so it doesn't come through the hole. Do the same on this side. There we go, and then we just trim our pieces off. If your ribbon tends to fray, probably want to think that through, whether that's the best ribbon for you. So there we go, there's our handle on one side. We'll do the same thing on the other side. This time I'll just cut at 16, then you'll have a little bit of garbage there. We'll lift this guy over. And yeah, do you think that you would have a use for making a little gift bag? How cute is this? What would you put in it? Well, I typically put cards in it. I put small gifts like the one that I showed the sneak peek of, and then I'll show the full version of. That one was made for my boss for Boss's Week, and in there is a pair of really cute socks. This is Boss's Week, and so I wanted to do a little something for him from myself and one of the other people I work with. And I've put cards in them. I put small gifts. I've put them in, made them into like Easter treat bags, Christmas gifts. If you do Christmas stockings with your kids, but you don't actually fill the stockings, this might work depending on how much stuff you want to pile in there and how heavy it is. So lots of choices. You're just limited by your imagination with your various papers that you're working with. So this one's perfect for a baby. I could put cute little booties and even a little sweater or something in there, and that'd be a lovely little gift. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. Let me know what you think of this video if you get a chance to watch it. Here's the other couple of versions that I have, and I will be posting a picture of the project and the video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.